When looking for a partner, do you follow a checklist? What they should look like, what they do in their free time, what they do for a living perhaps, how much they earn, and just how compatible the two of you are. Well, Nigerians specifically have in addition to this long list a rather important one, because it would decide what their coming generation would be like, how healthy their kids will be. You see, Nigeria is the sickle cell capital of the world. Up to 6 million Nigerians suffer from the sickle cell disease, or SCD. The country accounts for about half of all new cases in the world. Let me now explain what this disease is. It is a genetic disorder. It affects the hemoglobin-producing gene in the body. Normally, our blood cells, our red blood cells, are disc-shaped. But in sickle cell disorder, they are elongated and turn into rigid crescents, more like a sickle, hence the name. Those suffering from this disease experience blood clots, pain episodes, and serious complications in most major organs. You would never want that for your children. Nigerians don't want that either. But due to how common the disease is, they have to think twice before marrying anyone or having kids, because there's a good chance that they would pass it on to their babies. This is how it works. As I told you, 6 million Nigerians suffer from sickle cell disease, but millions more are carriers, as in they don't have the disorder, but they carry the gene that causes it. So if both parents happen to be carriers, their children have a 25% chance of having the disease. If one suffers from SCD and the other is normal, the odds will be 50%. If both parents are carriers, all of their kids will also be carriers. But the worst combination of all is a sickler and a carrier. They have a 50% chance of producing a baby with the disease, and 50% of producing a carrier, meaning all of their babies are going to have SCD in some way. Grim, isn't it? Due to the prevalence of the disorder, it has now become very common among Nigerians to get tested. Most of them know if they are suffering from SCD or at least carrying it. But here's the thing, determining the presence of the disease is one thing, puzzling out its implications is another. You see, prenatal testing is rare in the country. Abortions, in many cases, are illegal. When a differently able child is conceived, it will most likely be brought into the world. So what is the way out? The social norm is not to mingle entirely, to not marry or even date a person whose genotype is not compatible with yours, with whom you have a higher chance of producing a baby with SCD. Nigerian couples often end up on this genetic crossroad. They can either marry their lover and have babies with SCD, or break up, deal with a heartbreak, and miss out on the life they imagine for themselves, with their partner in it. Sickle cell disease is not a death sentence, but it is usually a life sentence. It has two effective treatments. One is bone marrow transplant, another is gene editing. But both are out of reach for ordinary people in Nigeria. Most Nigerians with SCD must deal with episodes of severe pain. They have to buy expensive medication all their lives, seek out specialists, and most importantly, confront the stigma. This includes obstacles to someday starting a family of their own. WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.